Nicholas Sparks has written 25 novels, and almost all of them are New York Times bestsellers. And he's published romance and drama classics that have turned into film adaptations such as The Notebook, Dear John, and The Choice. And now Sparks is teaming up with writer and director M. Night Shyamalan for a thrilling page-turner and feature film about the mysteries of life and human connection. It's titled Remain. And Prime anchor Linsey Davis had the opportunity a few days ago to talk to Nicholas Sparks.
Nicholas Sparks, so good to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So you write a lot of love stories, normally not quite as mysterious or asking such existential questions. Talk to us about how this partnership with you and M. Night Shyamalan came to be.
One of those Hollywood stories, right? I have agents in Hollywood and he has people in Hollywood. I guess they got together and said, hey, we should get these two together. And we ended up getting together in May of 2023. And the plan for that meeting was really twofold. First, we were each supposed to come up with an original story that would work for my genre and his, and that would work as a novel and a film. And I think the second part of the reason for that meeting was to figure out, did we want to work together? Did we think we could work together? Was this something that might be more trouble than it's going to be worth? Because both of us are in the position we don't need to collaborate.
Understood.
But we got along great. We pitched each other our stories in short form. We decided to do Night's story. And we spent the next hour and a half, 2 hours, hammering out all the details, or a lot of the major details that eventually became Remain. From there, I didn't hear anything for 14 months. So last August 2024, he calls me up and says, I think this is going to be my new film. I'm going to write it. I'm going to direct it. I'm going to produce it. And I said, okay, then I guess I'll go ahead and write the novel. And that's it. So I did the novel, and basically he did the film on a co-story. We both are creators of the story.
So is this the first time that that's happened where you knew that it was going to become a movie before you actually wrote the book?
No, I had a little bit of that similar situation with the last song. I was approached with Disney, and they needed a movie for Miley Cyrus, right? She had a 2-movie contract. This would be the second one. I guess she was a fan of A Walk to Remember. So I'm like, okay, let me think of a story. And then because of her calendar, I had to write the screenplay first, and then I wrote the novel. But as I'm writing that screenplay, the last song, I knew it would be Miley the whole time.
You and M. Night Shyamalan have really different backgrounds. He's really known more for the thriller, you more romance. It seems like this was, though, a match that was made very easily. How did you all go about who's going to have the influence in the storyline? Yeah,
really, again, so much of that story was we were just bantering back and forth. Well, let's make him an architect. Well, we're thinking it's going to be a little bit of a ghost story. So, well, New England seems like the best place for that. So some of these decisions seem obvious. It just felt right when it felt right. And of course, he wrote the script, and then I saw some more of his ideas. I incorporate some of those into the novel. He gets the novel. He's like, oh, I like those. And then he incorporates some of those changes back into later editions of the script.
Of course, you have inspired generations of readers and no doubt writers. Was there any particular book when you were a young reader that you decided, I'm going to do this too?
The first real novel that I ever read was Where the Red Fern Grows. And, it's such a sad story. The dogs die in the end. And it really profoundly moved me. And I remember saying, wouldn't it be great to be able to tell a story that moves people? And I discovered a love of reading. I grew up, of course, reading Stephen King. And people still grow up reading Stephen King. He's been around for a while. And he writes great novels. And I always loved a good story. I think I wrote my first novel at the age of 19, and I wrote a second at 22. They were not published. Eventually, I put together The Notebook and get my break.
You're currently on a book tour. Favorite reaction to the book so far?
I think my favorite, the one that makes me go, whew, is they say, wow, even though it's you and Night, it's still a love story, right? It's still a love story. If people like what I do, they're going to love this novel. If they like what Night does, they're going to love this novel.
With so much success with basically every book, does that cause a certain pressure For the next one?
No, but it causes challenges.
Yes, okay.
The challenge, because I write kind of if you think I write a love story, and often it's set in North Carolina. But then how do you make that new every time? Therein lies the challenge. So it's more of a challenge in the conception and trying to come up with something, say, aha, this will both delight and surprise the reader.
And that's exactly what this book does. Nicholas, thank you so
Linsey.
much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And our thanks to Linsey for that conversation. Remain by Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan is out wherever books are sold, and the associated film is scheduled to be released next year.